for their help and support, and you should have one. This copy here is the article of the Washington Post. That copy, hard copy, is passing around somewhere. So this is the article about my case in the Washington Post. This is the text of this is a historic text of the original resolution from 1783. This is the roll call article of the newspaper of Congress that explains very well about the resolution that was signed by President Obama. And this last one, there are 3 questions that I would love for you to think about them and fill it out. It's like the tiny little, not homework, it's like a favor that I'm asking you. If you please could write 3 things that you found interesting about Bernardo de Galvez. How would you spread the word about the contribution of Spain to the United States? And what initiative would you like to take to Congress, and how would you do it? So you can, if you want, you can fill it out at home, and you give it to your teachers, and your teachers can send it to me. Or you can take it to class and talk about it too. Okay, let me give it back. So now, I hope we have time for some questions. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, it's not that, it's just Nikki got
Sorry.
Nikki got the color.
Yeah, we have some that they're color and some that unfortunately are black and white. But
I thought it was like a raffle.
no. But what you can do, if you want to see the picture in color, you can also go to Google, Google Washington Post, Teresa Valcarce, and you get all the pictures in color.
Why didn't anybody try to get that picture when they made the resolution in the Congress room? Why did you have to do it 200 years later?
Thank you. That's a very, very good question. Thank you for your question. Well, the original portrait, because this is not the original portrait. We don't know how the original portrait that the resolution stands that they accepted looks like, because disappeared. We don't know the reason. It may happen, I mean, this is my personal theory. At that time, the Continental Congress and the Congress moved from Philadelphia to New York, from New York to Philadelphia, and from Philadelphia to finally Washington, D.C. And it was a very hectic transition time for our government. Who knows, maybe it was lost, maybe it was burned in a fire. We don't know the reason. The only thing that I found out in 2014 is that today, that resolution was never fulfilled, or was not fulfilled. So I needed to fix it. But the reason, we don't know yet.
How did Bernardo de Galvez die?
Well, thank you for your question. In New Orleans, he got a bacteria, we don't know if through the water or what, and he died of an infection of his stomach. Yeah, and he died very young, at the age of 40. What, 40? 40. Yeah.
Why did they got his heart?
That's a very good question too, thank you. At that time in Mexico, it was a common thing to do. They, when somebody died, they got all the guts from their body out, and they buried the body in one place. And in his case, his body was in San Fernando Church, and they took the heart to the National Cathedral. But it was a common thing to do at that time. Go ahead.
Is his heart still there?
That's a question that I don't know the answer. I know, and the history records say that they took the heart to the National Cathedral, but that if today is in some place where it's identified, I don't know. The proof in written with records are that they took it to the National Cathedral. Anyone? Go ahead.
What was the most difficult part of getting it passed through Congress?
That's a very good question. Everything was hard. Well, for me, the most difficult part was that I'm an administrative assistant. I don't have a policy or legislation background. I'm not a lobbyist. So I found myself in a world, now I am everything. So, but at that time, it was very difficult to get myself in this world where I didn't know. It was all new to me. English, as you can see, is my second language. So it was, in general, it was a total new world for me, and the way I was seeing myself, it was like Finding Nemo. Remember Finding Nemo? When the Nemo is in front of all the white sharks. That's how I felt.
It's very neat.
Go ahead.
Or it's sort of like a joke, but instead of going to Congress, why couldn't you have just used Facebook and Congress?
Well, you know what? I should have thought about that before, but I didn't. I used different tools. But I have to say, social media helped me a lot. Because if you guys talk about Bernardo de Galvez in Facebook with your friends, with social media, through your phones, with everything, that's the way the voice is spread out. Because it's in our hands to be sure that this piece of history that is forgotten, to bring it back. And to talk about not only Lafayette or France, but there is a very important contribution that it was in Spain that needs to be recognized.
And that is why our parents should give us an Instagram account.
Your parents should, sorry, I cannot hear you.
That is why our parents should give us an Instagram account.
Well, that's up to your parents. But I mean, there are other ways. You don't just need that. There are other ways. Just if you go home today and you tell to your parents about what you just learned, there you're giving as a citizen a very good and solid step forward. Something else? Go ahead.
In Florida, is there a trail to the fighting scene?
I cannot hear you. Sorry.
Just louder.
Yeah.
Say it again, just louder.
Is there a trail, like a trail that he fought to go to gain
The three battles?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was a very good strategist. So, and he tried more than once to win these battles.
What is his strategic plan idea?
Well, I don't have the details. As I said at the beginning, I am not a historian, but that information is very well written in any document about Bernardo de Galvez. Is very well written how he got and won these battles in the south. The Mobile, the Mississippi River, and the most important battle was the Pensacola. That was the last one. And the strategy is recorded very well and very well explained through if you Google it. Somebody else?
Teresa, maybe you should tell them why his emblem was I alone. You know that story? That's
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I can tell you that when he was his last battle, that it was to conquer Pensacola, he tried 2 times to win Pensacola. And it was very hard. He found himself in the middle of hurricanes. It was bad. So the 3rd time, he said, okay, this is the 3rd time. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. So when he was going to go and fight, the rest of the ships that had to follow him for the battle said, Galvez, good. You tried twice, and we failed. The British is there. I mean, there is no way we can win Pensacola. We're gonna try the third time and we're gonna fail again. This is not gonna happen. Get over. It's not happening. Pensacola is not happening. Well, Galvez told all these people, say, you know what? We are gonna get Pensacola. We are gonna win this war. And if you don't want to follow me, I'm gonna go alone. If you're scared, I'm gonna go alone. So he went alone to the channel Pensacola, and when the other people saw that he was just going all secure, they followed him and they won that third time. So the King Charles III, in the coat of arms, they gave him the words "I alone," because for his bravery and for his initiative. And I think that's a very nice and interesting, thank you, Guillermo, fact about Bernardo de Galvez. And actually, the logo of the non-profit, the Association Bernardo de Galvez in Malaga, it says "Yo solo" in Spanish, that is "I alone" in English. And it has the Spanish flag, the American flag, and the Mexico flag, because he was Viceroy of, Viceroy, thank you. Viceroy of Mexico. Something else? Yes, sir?
Was he a general?
He was, well, he's general. He's not considered general now when you change. I mean, I think it is general because the last time when the king was here, one of the military leaders of Spain came to me and he said, Teresa, we need to talk about Bernardo de Galvez as a general, because that's what he was. This leader said he was a general, he's a general. Thank you for your question.
All right, last one over there, Avery.
Go ahead.
If he's wearing a medal, do you know what medal that is?
I think that's the medal that he got from the king. But you know what? I don't have the specific answer of that. But what I'm gonna do is to find out and send it to your teacher for later, you know. But thank you for your question.
That's good. All right, boys and girls, what do you say?
Thank you.
Give Teresa a big round of applause.